Hey, those of you that love to cut, I had an awesome opportunity this week. My friend Dave Ray from New York, who's world famous for his hair cutting and his knowledge of hair and color, and he's written multiple books, even one that was on the bestseller at the New York Times. He was here in town for a hair show, and he's a good friend of mine, and he said, Bonnie, why don't I stop in and give you a haircut? And I said, if you do, let's videotape it, because everybody's going to want to see it. So follow along and subscribe, because I've got a few other videos coming with interviews with Dave Ray, some other hair cutting videos, and you're going to want to stay with us if you love to cut. I'm just your model.
Okay.
So can you tell us a little bit about who you are and what do you mean? Yeah, go ahead. You're being recorded now. And what is a beauty surgeon? They call you the beauty surgeon. Where did you get that name?
So the beauty surgeon came from...
Are you going to wear your mask?
I'm going to put it down.
Okay.
So hi, my name is Dave Ray. I'm known as the beauty surgeon. So everybody asks me, how do you come up with that name, the beauty surgeon? Well, in 1988, I decided to call myself the beauty surgeon general, not realizing it was a violation of trademark for the government. So I started to have that printed, and I received a letter
I didn't know
from the
this story.
Department of State to tell me I cannot use
For the Department of State?
So I cannot use the term surgeon general in anything I do. Please remove it. And so someone said, why don't you just call yourself a beauty surgeon, since you're so well-rounded as a young man doing so many things in the industry? Those days I used to do makeup and hair and cutting and color and everything. So beauty surgeon had a nice ring to it. And guess what? I had it trademarked.
All right. And today you're wearing the surgeon's mask, right?
Well, this is for a different reason. This is the part of what they asked us to do here. So I lowered it so I can do a great haircut and I can talk to you. So here we are. So what I've done here, Bonnie is my lovely model from Bonika Shears. As a matter of fact, she's my model and she's also my supplier of my shears. She makes the best shears. The versatility of her products, I can do all types of hair, all textures of hair with it, create all different looks with it, because she has from texturizing shears to fitting shears to just regular straight shears, you name it, and she has it.
Got some new ones in today.
Yeah, so the curved ones is what I call the bevel shears. So anyhow you turn it one way is convex, one way is concave, right? So what I've done, I've sectioned the last time I cut her hair was in February at a show, very spontaneously, very impromptu at the Brown Brothers show, just walking through the aisle, and I said, let me cut your hair. Well, she said she hadn't had a haircut. You want to do it, Dave? Yes. That video is somewhere live in the Facebook world. And so I cut her hair then, and she hasn't cut it since. She might have played with her bangs.
Some bangs had to.
But the length, her hair has grown exponentially, if I can use that word here.
Yep.
From February until now is August.
Yes.
August the 3rd, I think today.
And it was a pretty short haircut you gave me in February.
Yeah. So I don't know how short we're gonna go now.
It's up to you. My head's yours. I totally trust you. Whatever you want to do.
So what I've done,
as long as you don't pick up the clippers.
You never know.
No.
So from top of ear to top of ear, around the head form, I created one part. And so I've sectioned front hair from back hair. Okay? That's how you divide the head. That's the easiest way to divide the head. And then what I did was, I don't do lots of partings, because I think partings are very sort of elementary. Once you understand the head, you don't really need partings, to be honest with you. You get it? So what I've done is top of ear to top of ear in a horizontal fashion. I created another line, and I separate the hair in the middle, which would be in the, I would call from the apex to the greater occipital. I subdivided that. So she only has one grip A, Bonika grip A, not a clip, but a grip A holding the hair. So if I turn her around, you'll be able to see that I created one little part all the way around. It doesn't have to be neat, it's okay. What we're worried about is the circumference of the head and the and so forth. So what we're going to do now, we're going to start with the front. So remember, when you're cutting hair, you want to make sure the hair is in its natural fall. Bonnie does not curl her hair every day. She doesn't use curling irons. She blows it, she shampoos it, blows it, and wears it. She colors it beautifully, as you can tell. She has a great formula for her own hair color. So this is nice and vibrant, right? So what we want to do is, when you're cutting hair, the main thing to do in cutting is to make sure the hair is in its natural fall, the way it's good, she's going to wear it. I prefer to cut hair dry because people don't wear their hair wet. So I know we learned years ago to cut hair wet. I never believe in that concept, because I think if you can really shampoo the hair, blow it, and have it the way the person wears it, then you get a better result. Because once you cut it wet and then it dries, sometimes it gives you a different performance. So here we have, this is, you comb the hair and just let it fall. Don't do anything, don't pull the hair over here, just let it fall. And once you let it fall, then you can do your, you know, like in color we call something balayage, where you do free form coloring. You can do like a balayage in cutting too. Free form cutting. Make sure the hair falls the way it's going to be worn. Okay? If the person has a natural part on the side, let that hair fall that way. Don't try to pull it the other way, because it's gonna, you're resisting nature. Okay? So I'm just combing it down. And this is what I'm seeing here. Natural fall. So I'm not going to cut her bangs too much shorter. I want her bangs to stay where they are. But I want to cut her sides a little shorter.
That's the collegiate.
Oh yes, that's the
Yes.
Yes.
You like those finger holes and that's
Now you have your beauty school ring, your class ring.
That's right, our class ring here. So here, what we're going to do, we're going to take this up. This is a simple technique I'm going to show you, using just this here in the front. So you can take this here. And the easy way is to put the scissor away from you, this way. So you can take the hair, so all this here that's hanging from the front, take this up, all the way up. Take this, comb it in, twist it once, twist it one more time, put my comb in it, use the wider part, comb in it, spread that out here, and then all I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut this here. I'm doing more like a point cutting. See, as I release it, take your time and do it right. You don't have to comb it anymore, just hold the comb right there. This here up, into it, and cut that. This part up into it, That's it. So when I release this now, so it frames the face. That's it, right? So you're doing all that in one cut. We're gonna go to the back, turn it around, and here is the nape area. So we're gonna start in the middle. We're gonna take this section here, just take out a section from the occipital area, the occipital, but also in the Mohegan section, which is here. I'm going to bring this down and I'm going to cut this, also point cutting. Maybe you take like, let's say we take maybe 2 inches off. That should do it. And again, and cut. Just point cut it. Release that. I'm doing everything here dry. Have to go in one more time. And yes, I'm holding wide sections, which is not the cutting law. But once you learn to drive, you can now race a car, right? So you don't have to follow all the rules. The main thing is to have the end result. So here, cut again. And cut again. With all the frayed ends, all the straggly boards that from the first cut, clean it up. So here, take this down, and if you have sticky clothes, I don't have sticky clothes, bring this here down, all the way down. What I'm going to do is look for my guide at the bottom, take a section out, you notice I'm not resting my finger down on the, here, I'm bringing it out near about 30 degrees off the scalp and just using the base here with my guide. I want to comb the hair under, bring it out, find your guide, and just point cut it. Do it one more time just to check. See that? When you point cut, you're pulling away from yourself. You're not going in like a stabbing. So because you can actually injure yourself. That's the disclaimer. Look for your guide. When you go into point cut, you're pulling away. So when you chop, you're pulling away. Just trust me, you will cut yourself if you don't follow those rules. Point cut. When you see little extra strands there, you just point cut that. And it marries into the, see how nice and soft that those look, the perimeter is looking already? Nice and soft. Hard lines are outdated in hair cutting. Go to the other side and do the same thing. Blending and marrying. Blending and marrying at the same time. We're not talking about marriage now, we're talking marriage of hair. See how nice that looks and how soft that looks already? That looks so nice and natural. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to marry the front.
You're going to get married? Hey, my husband's sitting right over there.
He doesn't mind.
He's running the camera.
So
45 years, Dave.
I wasn't even born yet, was I? I'm trying to figure that out.
I was 6 when we got married.
So I'm blending the front that I've cut previously with the back. So that's a marrying of front hair and back hair. Just point cut that. There's just a little piece. See that? How nicely blended that is right here. Take with that demarcation line right there. Soften that up. And we're gonna go to the other side and do the same thing.
No mullets, right?
No mullets. Mullets are not a good look. Comb from on. You should always comb from underneath so you get all the strength. You just take it nice and soft. Now, just to give her a little bit of body, I'm gonna go in here and I'm gonna take some up. And again, I'm just gonna point cut here.
Now, Dave, if they were wanting to have lessons in hair cutting or color or any of the other things your expertise in, I'm going to put the links below. But I mean, What type of things do you offer?
So I specialize in many things. You know, I'm jack of all trades and master of every one of them. Not like most people are master of none. So cutting, I do private cutting classes for individuals and also for groups and also for salons. So if you want advanced classes in cutting, I can give you the Vidal Sassoon method. I can give you the DaveRay method. I can give you the Jingles method. I can give you the Pivot Point method. All the methods. So I'm actually trained by Vidal Sassoon to be I did the trainers course many years ago. So I have the rights to conduct classes using their technique. Okay? So if you want to have classes, feel free to reach out to me. The link's attached, so you can get private sessions as to how to become a better hair cutter. So you have three types of cutters. You have what you call the hair camouflager. Well, let's probably start with the hair dodger. Here's the hair dodger. That's the first one. The hair dodger is someone who tells you don't need a haircut. Your hair looks fabulous. I don't think that you should cut your hair because you have beautiful hair. It's long. It's gorgeous. And the camouflager cuts the hair not knowing what they're doing and just styles it nicely. So when you walk out, your style looks great, but when you try to do it on your own, you never can find any direction that your cut is going in. That's the hair camouflager. And then you have the real hair cutter. So when you can cut hair, your hair should be able to stand on its own, whether it's curled or not curled, or if the person decides to go have some sort of process done and wear the hair in some fancy style, there should still be clear lines as to, you know, what the intended look is supposed to be. You should be able to see it. You know, yes, they have some looks that are called detachable bangs and detachable lines and so forth, but still you should be able to follow the cut from the technique being used, the angles, the lines, all that stuff should still be used. And all I'm doing, I'm just going around the circumference of the head with what we call a moving guide. A guide with mobility, moving around the head, not a stationary guide, I'm just point cutting. So creating a little bit of volume in there. Just a little bit. Any extras, you have to go in there like a third time to make sure that there are no straggly ends. Because once you point cut, sometimes you miss a few strands. That's going to happen. See what I'm doing now? I'm bringing everything as most that I can up to check. So everything looks good. You have 1, 2 straggly ends there. Just point cut all of it. Soften the hair. And the reason why you point cut is because you don't want to see the lines of the slight layer that I gave her. It's supposed to still look like it's one length. Just everything should blend in nicely. That's what the point cutting does for you. Not create those demarcation lines. So I'm going to go to the front and do the same thing. Blend the front with the back. Let me turn you a little bit. I'm on this side. So I'm going to take some hair from the behind the ear and the ones in the temporal area. Lift it up. You can clearly see the line in there. So what we're going to do is go in there and just point cut that. And I'm going to part it section, make sure I hold it one more time to see what we missed, what didn't get cut. See, now just a little bit. And remember, when you point cut, you have to pull away from your. Here, see. Oh, that's gorgeous. I think it's gorgeous, if I can say so myself. Let's show you this side. Marry this too. Right here, you're going to point cut this section. Always comb it more than once so you can make sure you cover everything. It's like, there you go. Great. Now what I do, I always go back in and take the front section, bring it up, see if everything looks, see that? Just right here, just a little tip. Everything looks nicely done. Let me show you from this angle. If you bring this up here and marry them, you see how nice that line looks in there? It's all blended. Lovely. bring this up, turn you sideways so you can see in this angle. Hopefully you can see. Bring this up and look here. See that lovely line? Just touch it up a little bit. You should be able to see that lovely line. Look at that. Gorgeous. Blended. See one slight point there, but that point could stay. I'm going to play with it because I'm anal sometimes. Right there. Being able to control the head, this shear cuts so beautifully. It makes my work, when you have a great shear, it makes your work much simpler, much easier, much more precise, if that's the right word here. The shear plays a great role. So if you're using good, you can't use shears from the store. You can't use those shears you buy over the counter. You have to go to the masters. You know, when you get a prescription, you go to the doctor for your prescription, you don't go over the counter. You go to the real professionals and get you really great product. And that's what I do when I called Bonnie and said, yes, time for a new shear. I don't go to the beauty supply store and buy that $10 stuff. That's when I'm cutting some cheap mannequin. But if I'm cutting real people's hair, you want to soften that up. I'm just playing with it now. All I'm doing now is playing. Going in there and just make sure I play with it. No particular direction, just going in there. And all I'm doing, I can go in there and I can just do this. Texturize it some lines you won't ever see. So when you bring this down, look at how blended that is. I think that's gorgeous. Yep. Shake it away, Bonnie.
Feels good.
Oh, it looks great. Let's just look here, see if I see anything. Not really, but again, just my anal status. Get around here. There we go. You know, as a professional, you're going to always see something. When you're a perfectionist, you always see something that you think you missed. So there you have it. Turn you around, and there we have.
Thank you, Dave.
Yeah, I think it looks great. Look at that. I didn't mess with your bangs too. Matter of fact, I'm going to go in there and texturize her bangs. Just a little bit.
Yeah.
Just a tip.
So what's the purpose of texturizing the bangs?
So the texturizing softens the look. It softens the look. It makes it more controllable. It actually allows the hair to bend naturally. So if you think of grass, if you have short grass and long grass, if the short grass pushes the long grass, it's going to make the long grass bend over it. So if you have short hair in between long hair, it's going to make it bend to give it a nice soft curl without using a curling iron. So if you want to have that curl look, if you want it to do the other way, you put the long hair this way and you have it pushed the other way. So remember, short hair pushes long hair. That's the whole deal. So texturizing allows the when you're going to do the bang, you have to make sure you're not holding it where you want to cut it. You have to hold it at least half an inch or more from where you want to cut it. So you have room to go in there and do the texturizing. Her bang was pretty good when I saw it. I mean, it was done by a not professional hairdresser herself.
Me, yep.
But guess what? It looked pretty good.
It was done with good shears.
There you go. So it even makes the non-professional look professional. See how I softened that bang a little bit. So I'm going to go in there and take the shape of this. I'm just going to point cut this.
I've kind of watched you on stage a few times. I pick up a few things.
Yeah, she's trying to take my job away. She's watching me now what I'm doing. So next thing she opens the salon across the street.
Now I'll stick to shear sharpening, teaching sharpening.
Mm-hmm. It's funny because there's a joke with this guy. He had a salon and he trained these people to do hair, and they were really good. After he trained them, they were very good. But one decided to leave and open a salon right beside him on one side. One opened a salon on the other salon on the other side of him. So what did he do? He changed his sign called the main entrance salon.
The main entrance.
That's right. So
That happens a lot with salons. They train somebody, get them up good, and then they're gone.
And they go.
I
They
hear
try
that
to go,
story over and
but
over.
they go
and
so
over.
close by. They go right in the neighborhood, so that it's like, oh well, my clients already know me, so.
Well, they break in and steal the names of the customers that belongs to the owner of the salon.
Yeah, this happens across the world. People just on principle. So here we go. I don't think we need to do anything more to Bonnie's hair, because if not, we're gonna take her shorter.
What you think? Put it in the comments below. You like it?
Swing your hair, Bonnie.
I can do slow motion. I can do slow motion when I edit this.
Looks really nice. Looks really nice. I'm gonna take off the cape so you can actually see her in full force. So we can take this cape off here.
Here we go.
Here you go. And that's the Bonnie, and that's how she wears her hair. She's not gonna curl it.
Nope, nope.
So, you know, you can play with it and all that stuff. See, this is it right here. That's the look.
Oh, that feels good. I like it. That's the length I like.
Yeah.
Thank you, Dave.
Looks great. Looks
Can we hug or
You can look the other way.
we look the other way? We do some fist bumps. elbow loving.
Yeah. So that's the Dave Ray look here for Bonnie.
Thank you.
And I'll do anything Bonnie asks me to do because she's just a wonderful human being.
Well,
So that's it.
you have come and saved me so many times at hair shows. See, I've lost track of how many times I've had people that were supposed to do a class, couldn't make it, whatever, and you came in and you saved the day. And I've enjoyed the shows that we've done together too, the ones officially.
We've done some shows. I don't remember how many shows we've done. I mean, Texas, Birmingham, here. I mean, we've done some here.
And I want to tell a funny story about when we were in Texas, and we'll do that when we're going to do some more interviews, and I hope they'll subscribe and listen to us, because I'm going to have a few more things with some stories from you and me, and some questions I have for Dave.